I flew to the legendary country of Japan for 10 whole days and it was awesome, and now I'm gonna tell you why you should fly there too. I've wanted to go to Japan ever since I discovered they made Nintendo and PlayStation, but now I watch anime too, so there's that. Please don't go look at my MAL link in the description. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, Japan. Roll intro. Alright, so part 1. Wake up at 3 a.m., get ready, and then proceed to drive 2 hours to the airport, and then be in the airport for our flight at 11 a.m. Yes, it's already been 8 hours. Don't judge me, I was excited. Next, sit completely still for the next 14 hours on the flight. Lucky for me, I had the power of downloadable content, and watched a movie and 2 anime in the time it took to fly. Romantic Killer was pretty good. It's on Netflix. Give it a chance. Anyway, after the longest flight ever because I don't sleep, it is now 2 p.m. on the next day because time zones. This also marks me being awake for 22 hours straight, and it doesn't stop there. After a little bit of trouble trying to gain the ability to use public transportation, we left the airport at 6 p.m. It took 4 hours to get our tickets, but we did do it, and we're off to our first hotel in Akasaka. I forgot to take a video of the first hotel room, but just imagine it with this excellent artist rendition. Great, I know. Anyways, after getting some food at a sushi place that was sadly lackluster, we knocked out and slept for about 4 hours, and then got up at like 2. Yep, awake for 30 hours and could only sleep for 4. Wake up and then head out to the great land of Shibuya. You are my special. No, not that one. I wouldn't be able to record this video if it was that one, you silly gooses. We walked around for a while before stores opened because Japan doesn't contain a bunch of psychopaths that open their stores at 5 a.m. like over here in the States. Then I decided I wanted to see something that wasn't just tall building. But wait, before things open, what's the one thing you can do when starting your day? Eat food. So what do? McDonald's. We got Japanese McDonald's, which was surprisingly good, and we ended up eating a couple more times there throughout the trip because nothing was open except for those golden arches. And also, here's all the McDonald's I've eaten on a tier list. Moving on, we found the Spotify building. I don't know either, man. And then, for the first of a few, I went to the Nintendo store in Tokyo, which happened to be accompanied by the Pokemon Center. I walked around for quite a while in there and saw a lot of cool things. I went into this trip with 3,000 hard-earned dollars from my part-time job, and because of crippling spending anxiety, I got me a shirt, Quaxly, and Sprigatito, the best Pokemon ever. Now, I really did want to get myself a custom-made shirt from the design lab, but the 3-hour wait time to even make the shirt on top of the hour to print it, and there wasn't even a guarantee that I would get it in my size. I didn't even commit to it. Moving on, Shibuya was super cool. I kept seeing these ads for this show I didn't know anything about in America called Windbreaker. So anyway, I fell for the ads and started watching it. It's pretty good. For the most part, I just walked around and took in the sights. We saw this cool park that had some sort of dog event going on. Everything was for dogs, but it was pretty interesting. Something you know when you go to Japan, it feels like something is happening at some point, always. There wasn't anywhere we went where something wasn't either partnering with something else or there wasn't some sort of event going on for something. Anyways, up next we took a train over to Shinjuku to see some more big city, and I think Shibuya's downfall is that it's too big. There's so many people at all times that it's sometimes hard to see the actual touristy things, but I digress, it's still worth it. Continuing to the next day, we went to Tokyo Tower because come on man, you're in Tokyo and you aren't going to Tokyo Tower, what are you doing? My parents bought tickets for the main floor view and I went all the way to the top because content it was. Look at this view, man. It's so cool to see everything so far away. And it's sad that it wasn't clear, but what can you do? We can't control the weather. After the Tokyo Tower trip, we got on a train over to Akihabara. Now, this entire section of the trip is completely dedicated to me. My mom has only seen 2 anime that I made her watch, Komi and Bochi, and my dad doesn't like animated content of any kind. So I sent them away to let me waste my money and proceeded on the hunt. Initially, I looked up what some of the best places to shop for anime figurines are and went to Don Quixote, Animate, and one other that I don't remember. After not buying anything from any of them, I found a random building that looked interesting and walked inside and found the motherload of figurines. Like, the sheer scale of this first floor alone is insane. Basically, how this shop was set up was the first floor was a hunt. You find it, you can buy it. If someone gets it before you decide to muster up the courage to spend that kind of money, tough luck. I walked around aimlessly for what felt like hours, just looking at all the figures, making mental notes of ones I might be able to consider. And after that, about 30 minutes of, just walking around, I left and went to the next floors up. On the 5th floor, they have actually box figurines that are from newer shows that have less of a chance of being damaged, but I did end up getting a cool one from up here. Stick around to the end to see what I got. Moving back down to the 1st floor, I am now ready to spend money since I've already begun. I walked around and wrote down 4 figurines that you will also be able to see at the end of the video. So after a good 6-hour exploration, we were ready to head back to our hotel to get ready to head off to Kyoto. Oh yeah, me and my mom went back to Shibuya to get this shot of the crosswalk because why would I get the footage online if I can do it myself? It just hits different when you know you got that clip on your own. Anyway, hey, look, now we're in Kyoto. We started off finding a place to eat, and this little restaurant in the Gion district was actually so delicious. We got in right before it got packed, and it was actually some of the best food I've ever had. After that, we saw the famous Fushimi Inari Taisha shrine, which was really cool, but didn't end up going to the top because we did not get informed that it is a 7-mile walk up. But I did get this cool shot about 3 miles up. We also went into the bamboo forest, and the pictures do not do this place justice. It's so surreal to walk in, and I bet with the right lighting, it would only have been better. Now I know that was a short section, but off to Nara. We used our last day in the Kyoto hotel to head on over because we want to maximize our time in Osaka since we needed a full day for a special place known as Universal Studios Japan. Before we headed over to the train station for Nara, let me just go online and book our tickets for Universal. And they're sold out till June. This sucks. Well, at least we can still go to the park and enjoy normal Universal, but with anime around, right? So in Nara, we got off and headed to the famous Nara Park. You know, the place with the deer that bow? Yeah. They're pushy. Like they will just rush you on your walk and aggressively bow at you until you give them something. If you don't give them something, they cry, and it's cute, but you know they're mad. Anyway, after getting harassed by deer, we headed back to Kyoto to pass out and get ready for Osaka. Hold up, don't fade out the screen yet. But before that, we got back to Kyoto pretty quick, and I went on a little journey by myself to find a bookstore because I wanted to buy some Japanese manga, so I had more reasons to keep learning Japanese. I bought myself all of Call of the Night because I really liked the first season of the anime and I'm waiting on the second one, so I figured I could read the manga since it's pretty much done. Now, new day, Osaka. When we got there, we still had about 6 hours of sunlight to burn, so I did as any normal person would do and spent 3 hours walking around the Nintendo store, Pokemon store, and other stores in the area. Because why wouldn't I? I already went to Nintendo and Pokemon Tokyo and Kyoto, so I had to finish, man, come on. After burning more holes in my wallet, I went back to the hotel to chill. But who said the day was over yet? I went out on my own again to another bookstore because I looked at my bag and figured I could deal with more shoulder pain. This thing was already 10-ish pounds, but what's another 20 bucks? This bookstore was quite difficult to find because my map was telling me to go into the block, but it was actually on the same road as my hotel. I went with Undead Unluck because I liked the first season and thought it would look good on my shelf. Come on, man, what do you want from me? So, with a grand total of 40 books in my backpack now, I was ready to hit the sack and pass out. New day, bright and early, it's Universal time. When we got to the park, the lines were already massive. Like, we were there 3 hours early and it was still packed. Once we bought our tickets and entered the park, we found Super Nintendo World entrance, and this employee told us to just go to the kiosk and get our tickets. We were confused because we didn't get tickets online. And then we checked it out and they just gave us 2 tickets for 11 a.m. for free. Like, what? We were about to pay $60 for the entrance fee and we just got them for free. This is the biggest W since procrastination was invented. Don't look at my channel. Anyway, now that we're in Nintendo World, I had one goal. Beat it in one go. So I instantly darted off to Mario Kart and got first place in my group of 8, and then I started grinding for the keys and swept all the challenge except for the stupid time bomb one. My mom was still trying to get the second key, so I had to go in solo and got paired up with a literal child and their tired parent, so it's safe to say that I lost that one. After another failed attempt, my mom finally caught up with me and we heard the legendary English language being spoken and asked this group if they could join us to help us. Oh, also, I hit this really sick clip of me getting the 4 coin block thingies that you do in the Mario 3D World games for a bunch of coins, but I didn't put it in the script, so here it is. It looks really cool, trust me. Without hesitation, we all paired up and crushed the challenge and got our final key. The Bowser's challenge was pretty cool, but the green screen was pretty laggy and confusing. But it didn't matter, because now all I needed to do to beat Nintendo World was ride Yoshi's Coaster, which was pretty much sightseeing the park and looking at some cool set design. Safe to say, I beat it and was accomplished. Heading back to the hotel with my spoils of war, I was satisfied and ready to head back to America and get everything set up in my room for cool decorations in the background. This trip was genuinely so cool, and it only confirmed that I would either like to study there, live there or both. I don't mind. I'm taking Japanese classes in college this year, so I'm definitely gonna be hopefully prepared to speak to people. And now for the part where I show everything off.
Open your eyes.
So that's my Japan video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I will be making more content soon. I got a mouse review and a keyboard review coming up, so make sure to stay tuned for that. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.